Hi everyone. Today is Sunday, the 7th of January 2024. Persh Shah here, of course, reporting from Auckland, New Zealand. And this is definitely a video I've wanted to do for a very long time, in the sense that it's something which I got from a documentary I saw years ago. And to be honest, it's something that goes through my head, maybe not as often as once a week, but which does go through my head, does go through my mind from time to time, because it's really something that never ceases to amaze me. And yeah, that is just never. Oops, sorry about that. Landlord's dog outside barking. But that is never judge someone until you know their background. And it might sound very obvious, but it's not always so obvious. And the sheer fact that we compare people to each other. Even people of the same age and people who are born and raised in the same city, basically counterparts. We compare them to each other. It's like, oh, this person has achieved so much, and this sort of job, owns his own house and paying off the mortgage, married with two kids, and this other person has none of that. Why is that? Obviously, the second person is unsuccessful, but really, you can't compare people, even those of the same age and those born and raised in the same city. You just can't compare people. We're not all dealt equal cards, and yet we're compared to each other as if we were. And it's amazing how often this happens. And I remember seeing on a documentary years back, it was showing how people in maximum security prisons in the US, and when police and detectives interview them, when they talk to them, it's a lot of the time it's actually like talking to a normal person. You wouldn't even suspect that they've done what they did, but these are people that they spoke to who are serving life sentences for the most heinous crimes, such as mass murder, mass rape, serious fraud, basically the worst of the worst, not just someone who did something very small and went to jail for 3 months. These are people who've done the worst and they're in jail for life. And yeah, like I said, when the police and detectives talk to them, it's almost like talking to a normal person. Some of them, believe it or not, are even well mannered, and I've seen that as well. I've seen them be well mannered, but in virtually 100% of cases, what do they find? They had an abusive upbringing. In virtually 100% of cases, they find that they had an abusive upbringing. And when you hear that, you actually feel sorry for them. I mean, yes, of course, I'm not saying that it justifies what they've done. I'm not saying that we should declare them all innocent and let them go free. I'm definitely not saying that. They've still done what they've done. If one person's brutally murdered 100 people, he's still done that. And he has many victims. But in some ways, if he had a highly abusive upbringing, in some ways he's a victim as well, and you can't help but think if I had that same abusive upbringing, I probably would have turned into much the same person. So, it's amazing, how much just your background, which of course, unfortunately, you don't really have much control of, it's amazing how much it shapes you, and it's really something I think it might sound obvious, but we really need to pay more attention to. You just can't compare two people, even two people who are counterparts, to one another because they have not been dealt equal cards. They do not have the same upbringing. They do not have the same background. So remember, you can't judge someone until you know their background. Thank you.